Hi, my name is Rowan.
Hi, my name is Alyssa.
And this is our podcast.
This is what we are not taking to our graves, a place for conversations we are no longer keeping buried.
Which kind of sounds heavy if you really think about it. But
yeah.
This podcast was created in a moment when Alyssa called me and she was basically having a midlife crisis at 10 a.m. and asked,
on like a Tuesday.
It was like a Tuesday, yeah. I knew something was wrong if she was calling me in the middle of her work morning.
You were not prepared.
I was not. And basically, she asked me if I was fulfilled in life, to which I said, oh, I never really thought about that.
So while I was at work, I was listening to a podcast, and she had mentioned talking about this with her friends, and she had asked them all in the group chat at like 11 p.m. and she was like, do you guys feel fulfilled in life? Are we supposed to feel fulfilled? And I was like, I mean,
it's a good question.
Are we? Like, on paper,
sure,
we got the stuff.
Yeah, it sparked this bigger conversation between us.
Yes.
Because when she asked me that, I was like, actually, what qualifies as being fulfilled? Because, like you said, on paper, I've got a wonderful partner. I have a beautiful child. I have a job that I love. But what is fulfillment at that point? Is that just like the check marks on your list?
Yeah. And so I think that kind of turned into a conversation of like not having a passion project.
Yeah.
And like I think we can both relate that like when we started photography it was a passion project, right?
Absolutely.
And now it's just your job, which is great. You still love it.
I do.
Like I'm not hating on it,
No,
but like it's not.
It's a different level.
Yes.
It's not the same it was in the past. And with you've been working in childcare for quite a bit of time now.
So long.
And you recently realized that you don't actually love childcare.
You don't actually love childcare.
But you loved where you worked in the
I
past.
loved where I worked in the past, yes. And I remember sitting there and thinking like, oh, I miss like the days when I was a stay-at-home mom and I had all the time in the world to do photography, and I was spending so much of my time actively serving people. Yeah. And I feel like in my life right now there's not a whole lot of ways where I'm serving people in ways that I feel like actually matter. Like, yes, I work in childcare. Whatever. I'm serving the babies and making a difference in that way and whatnot. But, like, there's just something different about getting in bed at the end of the day and being like, wow, I made someone feel better about their life, their body, their circumstances, like, whatever it is. And so that kind of was what sparked the conversation of, should we just start a podcast?
And every millennial said yes, like ever. And literally it was just it was an idea, and we realized, wait, but like what would we start a podcast on? And after a lot of brainstorming, we came up with this idea because we realized that there are so many things in life that we just kind of ignore, or like we think we're not supposed to talk about. And the reality is that we're all talking about it behind closed doors anyway.
Yes. There's so many times where we have had conversations and we've been like, why doesn't anybody talk about this? Why doesn't anybody talk about how to be financially stable as a single mom for the first time? Why doesn't anybody talk about dating after a divorce? Why doesn't anybody talk about what it is to actually go through a divorce when you're in your mid-20s with at least one child? Yeah. Like, it's not things that are openly talked about. And I was like, we talk about all these things all the time. 7 a.m. on the way to take the kids to school. And you were like, let's just talk about all that stuff.
Yeah. And so that is how we got here. And we're not really good at this whole introduce ourselves thing, so we're not even going to try. But we wanted to give a brief idea of what...
Catch us on the gram.
Yeah.
You'll get up to speed pretty quick.
It's way too much. We can't do this whole thing. It's way too awkward. The episodes are going to be way better than what this is, I promise. But we figured we kind of had to do this.
Some sort of
introduction. But yeah, so that's where we're at, and we're really excited. We hope you will join along as we go through this journey.
Yes. You can find us on all social media at Our Graves Pod. Mm-hmm. And then what's our email?
Our email is ourgravespod@gmail.com.
And we have a website.
ourgravespod.com. So it's Our Graves, if you're wondering.
We have a website where you can go and submit topics, conversations, things that have happened that you will be taking to your grave, or so you think as of right now. We're going to try to convince you to do otherwise. And I think that we'll start reading them every so often.
Yeah, as soon as we get them.
I think it'll be so fun.
Please share with us. Yeah, I think that is actually, I'm really glad you said that's the perfect way to sum this up, is what we're not taking to our graves is really just about the things we are no longer going to shy away from talking about. We want to open the discussion on anything and everything, you know, and I feel like this is the perfect place to start. I
don't want you to take anything to your grave.
No,
I want to talk about it all.
Please, we want to hear it. So anyway, that's I think that's a wrap on this. We're gonna call that. So thank you guys. We hope to hear from you soon.
Bye.
So much better.
Oh, so much better.
So much better.